AITA for telling my SIL she's not welcome near my baby at all? My SIL cannot physically have children, but she did adopt her daughter 11 years ago. Her daughter is 12. About 2 years ago she started harping on her husband a lot about wanting to adopt another baby, and he was never on board. It wasn't too long after she started expressing her desire to adopt another baby that I fell pregnant. At first my SIL just didn't say much of anything to me, but when I was around 5 months old, she really started messing with me. She started inviting me over all the time and often put it in my head that I wasn't capable of taking care of a child because I have a history of depression. She was just constantly saying, "I'm worried about you," or "I fear you will have postpartum psychosis," and she said everything in such a way that I actually started believing her. It messed with my head nearly every night. This continued until I was nearly at my due date, but it always amped up a little every time. Like her last couple comments were, "I'm not sure if you can handle it, and if something goes wrong, I'm going to have to fight my brother for custody of the baby, and you know I will take custody of the baby if you can't handle it." And it got to my head so much that I stupidly thought she was just showing concern and not being a manipulative C-word. Anyways, I gave birth in October and my SIL came over to see the baby when she was about 2 weeks old. When she was holding her she started to cry and I went to take her back and she shooed me away and said no, she's fine, and just started bouncing my kid until she eventually fell asleep. Unfortunately I did have PPD and I just didn't say anything. I clammed up. And as soon as she left 2 hours later, I lost it. Bawled my eyes out while holding my daughter. And honestly, it made my PPD worse if anything. Because of that interaction, I didn't want anyone near my daughter or to hold her. I ended up checking myself into therapy. I'm loads better now, but through therapy I have developed a very large, overdue, shiny spine. And through therapy and some realization, I can now see that my SIL was using manipulation tactics to make me feel less than, so I would give her custody of my daughter. Well, she asked me last week if she could come steal the baby away for some snuggles. I told her no. She asked why and I was honest and said that I don't trust her because of all of her comments throughout my pregnancy and her refusal to hand my daughter back to me like I requested when she was here, so no, she wasn't allowed around my baby at all. She argued that I can't just cut her off with no warning and that this just proves that she was right and that I'm clearly having a manic episode, and told me that I'm simply unable to see that I'm potentially putting my baby in danger and that I should be allowing family, aka her, to take the baby so I can get my head on right. I blocked her off everything. But she's not getting my MIL involved and causing problems for my husband. AITA?